Hello again, football fans. Welcome to another edition of Casino Regina Turf TV right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Rod Peterson, the voice of the Roughriders, and it's a very big week here in Saskatchewan. Riders opening up the 2007 CFL season this Friday night in Montreal, and a real exciting show upcoming for you. We'll delve into the quarterback situation, who's going to start Friday against the Alouettes, take you on a tour of the Roughrider locker room, and a whole lot more. But on this Monday at Mosaic Stadium, Coach Ken Austin announced his starting quarterback for Week 1. Here's the coach.
Yeah. Kerry will start for us on Friday.
The reasons?
It was very close. It was a very tough decision, and we just feel like that's the best way to go to start.
How difficult the decision was it? How much did you wrestle with this one?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. The good news is that we have two quarters that we feel like can play well and win for us, and that's a huge benefit to this football. I thought Marcus did well in camp and did well in the games, but so did Kerry, and so we it was very close. But we just feel like this is the best way to go to start, and that we're fortunate to have the guys we've got.
You say you wrestled with the decision. How long did it take you to make that call?
All camp. No, we need to settle on it and get going with it, and I'm not big on playing any games with respect to those types of things, so it's just best to get to settle on it and get going.
Kerry's multi-talented. He's a better runner. Does that have a lot to do with the decision?
I wouldn't say a lot to do with it. I think it's that they both have at this stage a command of the offense where we thought they would be, and it was very, very close, and Marcus didn't shine dramatically more to be able to wrench the position away from Kerry. Look, I mean, I've been in situations where three guys have played during the season a lot. Two always play. You rarely get through a season with just one guy. That doesn't happen very often. So it's very, very important that all of and I told our quarterbacks this morning, it doesn't matter who's playing. When you're playing, we treat you as a starter. So we expect your level of play to be that of a starter. We don't buy into this. Our play goes off because our starter's not in the ball game. So they know that's what their expectation is.
Rider coach Ken Austin saying Kerry Joseph will start Friday night in Montreal. Now let's hear from the starter himself, number 4, Kerry Joseph.
Well, I mean, as players, it's good to know. But you know what? Your whole focus is on the team we're about to play on Montreal. So, it's good to just be able to come out here and now to focus in on the task at hand and grasp the game plan.
Did you always believe in your mind you were the number 1 quarterback?
Well, you always have confidence. I mean, that's the way you have to play this game. You have to play with confidence, and you have to believe in your heart that way. I mean, every guy that comes into camp has to feel that way, and that's how you compete, and that's what it's all about. It's all about competing, and like I said, you just want to be a leader out there. I mean, it has to come out sooner or later, but as players, you want to know, but at the same time, you just focus in on your job. You focus in on what you can control, and that's all we was able to do for camp. I mean, I feel that I had a great camp. I feel like I threw the ball well, picked up the offense well, and just continue to work day in and day out. And like I said before, I didn't come in here, about Kerry. I came in here about the team and guiding this team and leading this team in the right direction and being a leader for this team, because it is a team sport, and that's the way I just approached it. I mean, a team never falls short of having good quarterbacks. You never fall short of go wrong of having a lot of depth at that position. It's a long season. You take hits, things happen throughout the course of the season at any position. So, but you don't go in with that mindset. I mean, you go in the mindset of just 1 week at a time. And, just taking care of your body physically and mentally and just doing your job.
The 3 weeks of training camp, what do you think's the thing that this offense has to work on going to prepare for Montreal? I
mean, one thing from the last preseason game, we get down in the score zone, we got to score. We got to make sure we score touchdowns. When we have a chance to put teams away early, we need to do it and not settle for field goals. All points are good, but you know what? When we can get the ball in the end zone, it really puts a lot of pressure on our opponents. So that's one thing that, if I had to take out the preseason, is just us continue to execute our offense and score some points.
And as excited as Kerry was, you had to know Marcus Crandell was just as disappointed. Interesting to note that Ken said their play was pretty much even, but Marcus didn't outshine Kerry that much to take over the job. And Marcus talked about going into another season as the backup.
Oh, it's very disappointing. I'd be lying if I said if it wasn't. You know, I set my mind to come in and compete for the job and hopefully win. So anytime you fall short of your goal, you're always going to be disappointed. So yeah, all my energy now is going to be spent on trying to get better, how I can get better in this offense, and also help Kerry out there on the field. And so, like I said before, our ultimate goal is to win a Grey Cup. And whether it's with one quarterback or two quarterbacks, if I'm sitting on the sidelines, I'm doing my best to help them out. And if I'm out there, I'm trying to play as hard as I can.
And there you have it, Rider quarterback number 8, Marcus Crandell. Before we take you for a tour inside the Rider locker room, a note from our great sponsors at Casino Regina. They want you to go to their website at casinoregina.com and get all the details for the Labor Day Stay and Play weekend. Occupancy right across the street in the Delta. Come stay and play and get tickets to the Riders and Bombers Labor Day weekend. All the details are at casinoregina.com. It's all available for one low price. As promised, here's an inside look at the Rider locker room here at Mosaic Stadium. All right, it's game day, 11:15 a.m. on Friday, June 22nd, and we're so happy that the Rough Riders have allowed us to come into the locker room on game day for a little locker room tour. Here's the entrance where the guys change their footwear, and here's the shrine. Let's have a look. That's where the practice plan gets printed every day. Little poster of Chris Zarka for everybody. That tells you the time on game day, 11:15. Normie Fong's office. Little quick pivot. And here's a good look at the room. All set up for the boys when they show up middle afternoon. Quarterbacks. That's the way to the washroom. Check out the slogan. Play hard, play together, play smart. Kickers are together. One receiver that doesn't quite belong with the rest of these defensive players. We'll head down that way in a minute. John Chick, Anton, Mitchell. Ivan's training room. Defensive backs hang out together. And as you see, there's so many players right now. Something like, over 60 going to play tonight. They've had to line up some stalls in the middle. Back here, Hoggy Haven. Hoggy Heaven, home to the offensive line. Guys like Comiskey, Poley, over the years, Stevenson, Mike Anderson. This is where they called home. Over here, coach's off. Coach's locker room, no admittance, so we won't go any further. But there's a peek at where the coaches put on their gear on game day. The training room, home of Ivan Goodfriend, where the boys get their treatments. Training tables, little workout room for the coaching staff. More motivational signage. That's Ivan's office. You always hear about the Riders going over the film. Well, these are the meeting rooms. All kinds of video equipment. Draw the plays up on the board. And even more motivational messages. Back to the front of the room again. And since we've had a look at that, let's take a look at what the players are going to see tonight when they enter Mosaic Stadium for this game against the Stampeders. Right out the tunnel, and here we go. And there you have it. One more episode of Casino Regina Turf TV comes to a close. Another reminder from Casino Regina, you only have until this weekend to get down, play the slots, and register for your chance to win a Craven A-list weekend at the Big Valley Jamboree next month. Be treated like royalty and then keep the $100,000 RV once the weekend's done. Again, head down to Casino Regina and play the slots to get details. Thanks to you for watching Casino Regina Turf TV right here on YouTube. We'll talk to you next week after the Riders come back from Montreal.